Yeah. Coke fed, press some head, let's get in the car, I said. She grabbed my hand, girls rescue, met the bar, witness said. Tears fled the head, I'm weak, not dead, she tweet, I guess she confess, she thinking less, not drinking less. Bathroom says, best to get spontaneous, I stereotype, put to rest tonight. Imagine, believe, and achieve, it works. Skyline as I rise like fireworks. Smell through the bad, don't.
Hey, hello everybody, and welcome to this edition of After the Storm, your OKC Thunder post-game analysis live stream. And I want to say that a couple things. One, I'm excited about our team, and I'm frustrated about our team. And the reason why I say that is that that's what young teams will do for you. You get excited about because the potential of where they are, and then you get frustrated because they're young, and you've got to go through growing pains. And the other frustration I have is with the coach. I've been harping on it forever that he costs us 8 to 10 points a game, and doesn't do it as much as he used to. But I just don't understand what he does. The key to every game that the Thunder play is, one, you have to get off to a good start. My guy Drew Henthorne of HuskerDrewPicks.com, he and I talk about it all the time. The Thunder have to get off to a good start. That is just number one. Every quarter they have to get off to a good start. Now, today that did not happen, okay? But then when he substitutes the people that he puts in the game, all that does is just make things that much worse, and then you go from down 6 to down 18 because of the decisions he makes as far as who he puts in the game. Once again, my frustration is, how do you put Lindy Waters in the game before Aaron Wiggins? On what planet are you living on that he deserves to go in the game before him? And you only play him 6 minutes, but those 6 minutes did what? They cost us. I don't understand him. I don't get it. Now, someone was telling me today that the problem with him is, one, they call him the M&M, the minutes manager, number one. And number two, the other problem with him is, like my guy Mark Long says, he's 2 minutes too long. And today he got stuck in. Hi, Ace. Hi, baby. I love you too. You gotta go down. I'm doing the show. I love you too. And the problem with him tonight is that, as my friend was saying, that at 9 minutes to go, we were struggling. And we hadn't got, as he said, what did Mark say? He goes, the Thunder have not made it to the locker room yet at 9 minutes to go. We had 1 point at 9 minutes to go. And then what he do, SGA just all of a sudden, he had a free throw, then all of a sudden he went off and he scored like the next 8 to get us back into the game. And the other issue is that we let Brandon Ingram just start getting into the flow and got off. So we started the game with a good lineup, and I really liked the lineup that he started the game with. SGA, Josh, J-Dub, J-Will, and Dort. Now the Thunder at this point are 27 and 28. We're playing against the 29 and 28 New Orleans Pelicans. The Thunder are 8th or 10th in the conference, or in the West right now. So you're sitting in a good spot to not have to worry about the play-in game, but you're actually in the playoff hunt at this point. And we did not come out playing well. We just were not ready. Once again, young players trying to figure it out. But I knew we were in trouble because the first shot was taken by Lou Dort. He shot a 3. Brick. And once again, what I try to tell, the problem I have with this guy is that SGA, it has to go through him, Josh, first. Josh second, then Dort. But Dort just thinks he's a player. He's going to go and he's shooting, he's going to score. And he killed us tonight. SGA killed us tonight. Josh went through a point where when SGA is not on the court, Josh has to be the man, but he still has not quite taken that mantle or that strife, whatever, I don't know what the word I'm looking for, but he has not taken that next step. Now, he did in the Blazers the other night. He was just phenomenal. But we have to have that every time, the aggressiveness from him. But when he gets in passive mode, and he doesn't do it as much as he used to, but he does. But the first shot, I looked at Mark, I go, okay, here we go. George shoots the 3. Now, when you look at how many threes we shoot today, we only shot 24 threes in the in the victory over the Blazers the other night. And by third quarter, we had 24. Once you start out in the mode of shooting threes, the Thunder get into that mode. We're not very good at it, and I'll go and I'll show you our stats of where we are as far as 3-point percentage in the NBA. Okay, so anyway, we go through and we're down 13-19 with 4 minutes and 50 seconds to go, and here we go, and we have SGA, J Dub, Robinson Earl, Isaiah Joe, and K Will, Kendricks Williams. And the thing that I have with Robinson Earl, it was great, by the way, great seeing him back, but he's coming in shooting three after three after three, can't get anything done. It was very frustrating on that side of it. And I'm just like, bro, come on, you've got to do better when it comes to that. But he hasn't played, and I get that. And so they were trying to get him involved in the game early, which was fine. But Robinson Earl he's just going to be off. It's going to take him a minute to get back in, and this is a great opportunity for him to get into the game or playing at home. So if you're going to insert him, this is the perfect opportunity to insert him because, sorry, I'm trying to get my guy Drew Hinthorn involved in this because he just sent me a text. But part of the issue is that we don't match up well with them, but they just took advantage of their athleticism over ours. And then on the other side of that, the bigger issue is with the Thunder is that we have no inside presence. And then they're just bigger than we are. And Jay Will did a great job on Valanciunas. I mean, boxing him out because he's got the big body with him. And then we got to have other people come in because he can box him out because he's strong enough where Muscala was not. And we'll see if Sarek can do it. So we'll see if that's a possibility that will happen. But at this particular point, it's just frustrating because we're just right on the precipice. I mean, we're right there. But we're missing a couple things. We're missing another shooter, and we're missing an inside presence. We have to be bigger inside. We just got to be. Now, I understand what Sam Presti's trying to do. He's keeping us young, and that's why we got rid of Muscala. We're not tanking, so it's not a deal where let's get rid of Muscala, we're tanking. No, we're not doing that at all. We're trying to get younger to stay in that mentality. Okay? That's what happened. But on the flip side of that, what we've got to do is that you've got to have the right people in the game. Okay? And then K. Will, he just got to quit fouling people on jump shots. One of my pet peeves as a coach, do not foul the jump shooter. Do not foul the jump shooter. That's one of my pet peeves as a coach. Just get your hand up, let them shoot, whatever. Do not foul them. Make them earn it. They're already shooting 15, 20 feet away. Now you're going to give them a free throw. That gives everybody gets a chance to get a break. It also gets him in rhythm. And what I've always talked about with my kids, if you're missing a couple shots, go to the line, get fouled, get your rhythm into the free throw line. Then you can go back out shooting. So it's just frustrating to me. Then all of a sudden, it's 19:31 with 2 minutes to go. You insert Lindy Waters for J-Dub. And what mentality or what area are you thinking that is a good move? Coach D, Lindy Waters. You're putting him in the game with 2 minutes to go in the first quarter. Why are you putting him in the game before Wiggins? He is just in love with G League players. I like Lindy Waters, and I've said that a bunch of times. He's an O-State guy. I really like him, but at the same time, dude, he is now, I understand that, okay, look at this mentality. We're going to stick him in because we're dying and we need an insert of somebody who can shoot the three. Well, Lindy can't shoot the three in the NBA. He knocks the crap out of the three in the G League. He's a crazy shooter in the G League. G League and the league are two different things. This is the show. He's not the same guy. I don't know how much tape you need to see to find out he is not the same guy, G League versus NBA. He's just not. Now, maybe it's just he's with the Thunder and maybe the pressure of being at home, whatever. But what in your right mind can you put him in the game before you put Wiggins? So, end of the first quarter, this is where we stand at the end of the first quarter. Oh boy, I'm just so frustrated right now. First quarter, the Pelicans are up 25-33. They're 5 for 9 from three, 65%. 11 rebounds, 12 points in the paint, 4 turnovers. The Thunder are 3 from 8 from three, 40% from the field, 8 rebounds, 12 points in the paint. 12 points in the paint. 2 turnovers for us, 4 for them. Pelicans 7 points from the bench. Oklahoma City 8. And when I look at this, it's just frustrating because you look at it, we're shooting 40% at home. And part of what I wanted to do and my keys to the game were simple. Get off to a good start, which we did not, which was frustrating. Second thing was play within ourselves, which we did not. Continue to move without the ball because our ball movement, when we're cutting and moving and passing the ball and being unselfish and not standing out on the damn three-point line waiting to shoot threes, we're pretty formidable. Excuse me. And then we have to limit their open looks. So, that being said, when you look at the first quarter stats, do those add up? No. Exactly what I said we should be doing, we did not do. And part of it is getting off to a good start. It has to leave with SGA. Dort, you can't come out there and the first thing you do is jack a three. That's what he does. Because you don't have a coach that puts him in his place and go, here is your role. Here is your role. Here is your role. It's SGA, Josh, everybody else. Everybody else, if we don't score, then everybody starts getting hectic. Oh, let me make a play. Let me make a play. And they start playing outside of what their capabilities are. And then on the other side of that, Jay Will missing threes wide open, and he normally makes, I think, what is he shooting, 50-something% from three or whatever? And he normally makes those, but he's missing. So if you're missing shots, what do? You attack the basket. Go to the line. And you remember in the Portland again, in Portland, what was he doing? He was shooting threes and attacking the basket. Today he just decided I'm just going to stand on the three-point line because I'm a shooter. Well, you got to understand that sometimes when your game is not working from the outside, you attack the basket. And on the flip side of that, SGA was getting 0 calls today. He was getting 0 calls. So starting the second quarter, you start with Josh, Lindy Waters, Isaiah Joe, Robinson Earl, and Kendrick Williams. That's what you start the second quarter with. And my thing is this. Here were my notes. 2 things. How is this lineup going to get stops, and how is this lineup going to score? Those were my 2 things. How are we going to get stops with this lineup, and how are we going to score with this lineup? And then I look at it. You've got we're down 31-43 at this point with 8 minutes and 31 seconds to go. Okay? And I'm just going, you have to make a change. You need to put SGA back in the game. You have to stop the bleeding. But you've got Robertson Earl, you've got Lindy Waters, and you got J-Dub and J-Will in there. That's what you have in there. You're not going to beat people with that lineup. And then all of a sudden, with 7:20 to go, you put your best player, SGA, in the game. You're now down 31-49. So they've gone on a 16-6 run. Or excuse me, 16-6 run. They've gone on a 16-6 run because of your lineups. As I've said, he costs us 8 to 10 points a game because of his lineups and what he puts in the game. That 8 to 10 points that he costs us, we have to make up when you put in the correct lineup that you need to have in the lineup. And then all of a sudden, with 7:20 to go, you've got SGA, K-Will, Wiggins, J-Dub, and Dort. And my thing with Kendrick Williams is he was hustling and flying all over the place, which is what he does. But then he gets out of control and tries to do more than he's capable of. One of my keys were play within yourself. He gets out of he does do that. And SGA, once again, no calls. But with that lineup, you've got strength, you've got defense, you've got length, you got guys who can attack the basket, guys who can score. With that lineup that I just said right there. And what happens? The Thunder crawl back into the thing. They're down 51-60 now. Okay? Remember, when SGA won the game, it was 31-49. So we go on a 20-11 run with that lineup because the lineup he started, they went the other way. I don't understand his thinking. I don't understand what his fascination is with some of these guys, these lineups he plays. Omen Yuri, I like him. He's a G League player. He's 2-3 minutes tops. Lindy Waters, 2-3 minutes tops. He doesn't start off the quarter. He comes in during the quarter. If he's not knocking down threes, he's on the bench, just like Muscala. If Muscala's not knocking down threes, here, come sit down. You're a liability other than that. I don't understand what the hell he's looking at. I really don't. Boy, frustrating. I'm sorry, guys. My frustration's coming out. But anyway, halftime score. It's just, man, the halftime score ended up being, I didn't even have it on there. The halftime score is 51-60. That was the score of the game the other day. We had 72 points, and I'm sorry about that, but I was so frustrated tonight trying to get here and do all this and get it up. But it was 51-60. The Blazers were 8 for 20. Not the Blazers, but God dang, man. I don't even have the Pelicans stuff in here. I mean, how frustrating is that? My halftime stats, I don't even have the right stats in here. How about that, guys? Is that just crazy? I don't even have my correct halftime stats in here. So let me see if I can get this done real quick for you so we can get back where we need to be, because it's just too frustrating right now, so you can get on the same page as me and we can get to where we need to be. Let me see. I'm trying to get there, guys. Just be patient with me for just 1 second until I get the right deal in here. Because I switched up where I was putting everything, how I had everything in here. And let me see, maybe this is it right here. See if that worked. Oh, there we go. Okay. 51-60. Halftime stats. Pelicans were 8 for 19 from the three-point line, 53% from the field, 19 rebounds, 24 pips. You know, that's my favorite stat. Points in the paint, 7 turnovers. Oklahoma City, 7 for 18, which is not bad. Three-point shooting, which we made up right there with Isaiah Joe and them knocking down some shots there in the second quarter. 42% from the field, 19 rebounds, evening them out there. And that just helps when you have the right lineup in there. 20 pips, and we should have way more than that because we score quite a bit from the lane. 8 turnovers, and bench scoring is 19 for us, 11 for them. So that's the bench scoring. So when you look at what the Thunder does and what we do as a team and how we react and what we should and shouldn't be doing, here you go. Here's our stats right here, and this is where the Thunder are. We're third in scoring at 117 points a game. That's third in the NBA. And then we're giving up 115 points a game. That's 21st. So we got to shore up our defense. Field goal percentage, we're at 46%. We're giving up 46.3, and that's fifth. That's really, really good. Then you got three-point percentage. We're 13th, and then we're 22nd. So we're at the bottom in that, and we've got to move that up. Then you got assists. We were 18th, and then we're 16th as far as what we allow. Points in the paint, we're 4th, and then we're 30th. We're dead last in what we give up in the paint. Why is that? Because we have no inside presence. Assist to turnover ratio, we're 1.8, which ranks 7th, and now we have dropped to 2nd. We were 1st in assist to turnover ratios in our opponents as far as keeping them from making them turn the ball over and then us getting assists. So that was part of it, and we have gone down from that. We've dropped one place, which is not bad, but anyway, that tells you a little bit about what I'm trying to say. You look at our three-point percentage, we're 13th. But we can't rely on the three because in the game in the Trailblazers, we only shot 24 threes total. And we have 18 right now at halftime. And it's all because, you start out with Dort. First thing he does is jack up a three. Oh, we're at home. We can shoot. No, you run your offense. Understand what you're supposed to be doing. The last thing you want is to shoot a three. And I've said this many times. The offense has to run through SGA. Then when he starts trying to force it because we have no points, then that's when all the chaos starts and everybody tries to do things and try to do too much. And you just can't do it. Once again, it starts at the top with our leadership at the coaching, and you got to get a better coach because this guy, I like him, but he is just not the guy. He was great for what we needed him for when we hired him, but we're at the point now where we're getting ready to make that jump, and he's just not the guy. I want to thank my sponsors, Collaborative Logic, and appreciate everything they do for us keeping me up and running and keeping the show flowing. Thank these guys. They're amazing over there. If you have any needs for any computers or software written, if you want to make your office run smoother, or if you need a website design, they are the perfect people to get that done. SRB, my guy Mark Long. If you have an engineering, surveying, or planning, he is perfect, and they love to be behind the scenes for you in any way that you possibly can get done. Oak Grove Trucking, my guy Jose Fierro, he is the dude. If you need some stuff hauled off, some rocks done, any road work, he is the man. Greg and Max Nafee, appreciate them for everything they always do in supporting me. Last but not least, YNB, family owned and operated since 1912. They are the bank that makes things happen. You can pre-qualify online at www.ynbok.com. That's www.ynbok.com. And remember, they are an equal housing lender and a member of the FDIC. And we want to thank them for their sponsorship for us to go out and do remote broadcasts to the black, minority, and women-owned businesses in the OKC area. We could not get that done without them helping us go out and help these people get exposure, and we appreciate everything they do for that. And once again, you can go in and see the guys believe they prefer you to come in and see them, and that's what Nathan Taylor has told me as far as Joe Horn and Carson Wright. You can go in and see those guys anytime and check them out because they are a personal bank, and they do love for you guys to come in and meet and talk to them personally. So that being said, the Thunder are down 51-60 starting the third quarter. Remember, we are now second, or we were leading the NBA in third quarter point differential. We still are leading the NBA in third quarter point differential, which means we scoring more in the third than the opposing teams do, and the differential is around 3. I think it's 3.6 or 3.7. So the Thunder are very good coming out after halftime and doing a fantastic job with that thus far. So we're starting the same what we started the game with: SGA, Josh, Dort, J-Dub, and J. Will. And then what do? We start out slow again. SGA just can't get anything to fall. I mean, just in and out. The little normal mid-range that he knocks down on the reg, he could not get them to fall for whatever reasons, frustration on his part. But our defensive intensity kept us in the game. The defensive intensity was there. I mean, coming at people, not allowing them to get wide open looks, pressuring Brandon Ingram, who had a fantastic night against us tonight, but making him work for everything that he got. And we had that also in the fourth quarter. And then we started moving without the basketball. And what I was talking about that is when, like I've always told my kids, and I'm telling you guys right now, the first thing you want to do is what? When a person, who's ever defending you, if they take a look and they turn their head, you attack the basket immediately. That's what you do. And against the Blazers, the Thunder did it all night long, layup after layup after layup after layup. But today we decided to shoot threes. We're just, weren't ourselves, but we never really got off to a good start in the very beginning. And then here in the third quarter, it's the same type of thing. Can't make shots. Josh missing shots. SGA missing shots. We can't get anything to fall. And on top of that, we just couldn't make any timely plays. I mean, we'd get right there at the edge, get up close, and we just could not make plays. I mean, we're down 1, we're down 3. We just can't. Just wide open shots and just missing. But once again, young team. Those are the things that you have to deal with. Those are the growing pains that come with young players. Now, next year, those guys are probably, maybe by the end of this year, those guys will be knocking down those shots for sure. Next year they will when they get into this point. But your biggest issue is you're down 18. So you have to spend all of this energy to catch back up and get back in the game. And by that time, you're a little mentally dry, and then all of a sudden they've weathered your storm, and then they make the big timely shots, and we're missing timely shots. Why? Because we fought so hard to get back in the game. Why? Because you started the wrong people in the second quarter. You played those people too long. Then you get too big of a deficit. Then you bring in the right group that you have in there. They've got to fight back and get you back in the game. Once again, that is the Thunder's problem. Our coach costs us 8 to 10 points a game because of his substitution patterns. L.A., he put Omenuri in there. What are you doing? I mean, I'm just like, this guy, he just wears me out. He just wears me out because, like I said, I think he was fantastic for what we originally hired him as a coach for. And people are like, well, Thunder won't spend the money on a coach to take us to the next level. When Steve Kerr took over for the coaching job at the Golden State Warriors for Mark Jackson, he wasn't being paid a lot. But when he took them to the finals, they started winning. Guess what? Then they paid him. The Thunder aren't broke. Our owners aren't broke. They have money. They can spend the money. But what you got to do is you got to win first. The more you win, the more the crowd comes in, and the better the team, the more money they make. And by the way, I want to thank you fans. You guys were fantastic tonight. It was very loud. The club level is getting back filled again. Love what I'm seeing for the Thunder faithful and what you guys are bringing to the table to help this young team, because the more they see you supporting them, the more it encourages them and makes them feel better and they play harder. It just does. That's what called home court advantage is all about. That being said, here's the third quarter. The Pelicans have a 78 to 73 lead. The Pelicans are now 8 for 26 from the three-point line, 50%. So you can see they're slowly dropping down in our defense because we played a lot better defensively in that third quarter. 27 rebounds, 36 pips, and 13 turnovers. The Thunder, on the other hand, 7 for 25. And remember, we only took 24 threes in our Blazer win the other night. We've already taken 25. We're 7 for 25. 40% from the field, 36 rebounds, 38 pips, 15 turnovers. And what I've always said, when the Thunder get to 15, 16, 17 turnovers, we're not going to be a good team. We're just not going to. You can't turn the ball over that many times. Bench scoring, Pelicans at 23, the Thunder at 23. So that's saying our bench stepped up, but why is that? It says who the bench players were. Kendrick Williams was stepping up. Isaiah Joe was stepping up. So you got some guys who can step up a little bit. And, of course, we were missing Trey Mann because he was playing on the OKC Blue today in the G League. So I think the reason why they're doing it is to keep Trey sharp, because, Isaiah Joe is playing more than he is. And so you need to have Trey sharp just in case something happens. You want him edgy to where he can step in and go and be ready to play. So that's the third quarter stats for the Thunder and the Pelicans. And then, of course, the main thing, here comes the fourth quarter. So who are you going to start, Coach? Who are you going to put in the fourth quarter? We start out with Josh, Wiggins, Robinson Earl, K. Will, and Isaiah Joe, which is not a bad lineup, okay? But my thing is, where's Lindy Waters? You started in the second quarter when we got down 20. It's just crazy, okay? It's just when I look at this group, and it's a part of it was Josh. Josh didn't step up right from the very beginning. What do? We start out with a shot clock violation. Josh has to understand what his role is. And, don't get me wrong, he is going to get there. He's definitely on the ascension, no question, okay? He is going to be a really, really, really good player. But remember, this is only his second year, so he's still trying to figure out where he belongs and what he needs to do. Because I think it was SGA's, I think last year was his third year. I believe this is his fourth year. And so you can see where SGA, it takes them 2 or 3 years to actually figure out how to play and what they can do and can't do. And Josh is trying to slowly get there, because once he's in full attack mode where he's attacking the basket, shooting teardrops, and then coming to the basket, reverses and going to the basket and kicking out, he is fantastic, and that's what he should do. But when he gets in passive mode, which is what happened in the second quarter and definitely in this third quarter or fourth quarter, that's when we get behind. And then all of a sudden, Josh goes, boom, he'll just this switch hit, and then all of a sudden he starts taking over, making buckets. Okay? Well, he's got to start that out right from the beginning of the second quarter and the fourth quarter. Because remember last year, I used to talk about this on the show when we first started, is that Josh should always start the second and fourth quarters because you have to have SGA or Josh on the court at all times. You have to have one of your two best players on the court at all times. But Josh needs to slowly start, and he is slowly. Josh needs to uh, get on a faster pace of being more aggressive, and because the team is going to go where Josh goes. But if they look at him and he's in passive mode, which they play with him every day, so they know when he gets in that passive mode, then I got to make a play. And here comes Kendrick Williams, here comes Isaiah Joe, here comes Robinson, here comes everybody else is trying to make these plays. When it starts with SGA and you follow his lead, then it's with Josh Giddey and his lead. So we follow what he does. Okay, that's where the Thunder need to be. But we didn't see any of that. And then, of course, we're down 87-93 with 5 minutes to go, and you got SGA, Dort, K. Will, J. Dub, and Josh in the game. And what do? We make a run. We make a run. And we almost get there, and we're down. It's like we ran out of gas, and we just could not make plays that we normally make. Like SGA, we're down, what was it, 3, I believe? SGA turns his back, guy backs up off him. He's trying to back up to him to feel him. Guy backs up, SGA falls, and gets a turnover. Is that like him? No. He was just off all night tonight. And when he's off, so is our team. And we're going to do the stats here in a minute so you can see kind of what I'm talking about. But, we were uncharacteristic because SGA is definitely one of the best finishers in the NBA, which is the reason why he will be an All-Star weekend this weekend. By the way, if you ever guys get a chance to go to the All-Star weekend, I say go. It is a fantastic experience, especially if you can take your kids or whatever. It's something that you uh, should experience. But anyway, the final score, the Thunder ended up losing 103-100. The Pelicans improved to 30-28. The Thunder, on the other hand, are now 27-29. And let me see if I can pull up the NBA West standings because I have not updated them yet. I will do them tomorrow on the Unpopular Hour. And I show tomorrow when I have my guy Drew Hinton of HuskerDrewPicks.com and my other dude, Ben Dillman, High Stick Harry. The Thunder are now 11th. They dropped from 10th place to 11th. And the Pelicans are now in 7th place at 30th and 28. So the Thunder have dropped a spot. We're now 11th, tied with the Blazers. But, of course, we have the one-game lead over them, or we have the tiebreaker over the Blazers. And then the Jazz are 29 and 30. So we are basically 2 games or a game and a half behind them. And it just really hurt because you got to win. And you have the Warriors in there at 28 and 28. Where they are as far as the standings, and I'll have all the standings updated tomorrow on the Unpopular Hour, and we'll go over all that stuff tomorrow. But anyway, Oklahoma City falls to 27-29. The Blazers end up going 9 for 30, 52%, 33 rebounds, 48 pips, 18 turnovers. The Thunder 9 for 33. Just like I said, I don't ever want to shooting over 27, 28 times a game from 3. But once again, the first shot of the Thunder took today, Lou Dort shooting a 3. First shot. I mean, from way back. And as long as the Thunder are at the three-point line or maybe a half a step behind, we are deadly. But when we step back another foot, our three-point percentage goes way down because we don't have the shooters. But these guys, for whatever reason, think that they are. And Lou Dort is the worst at that. And 42%, 43 rebounds, 50 points in the paint, 16 turnovers, way, way too many. And, of course, we outscored the Blazers 31-25 as far as bench scoring. And then box scoring, here's the tale of the tape. Jay Will, 0 points. Now we're talking about Jay Will from Arkansas. 0 for 3, 3-pointers because he normally shoots really, really well, but he just was 0 for 3. 1 rebound, 2 assists for him. And J-Dub, 22 points, 9 for 15, definitely a good night for him. 2 for 3 from 3, 7 rebounds. He is just continuing to grow, but 4 turnovers. And when you look at the turnovers, look at that. Between Josh, SGA, and Giddy, three of your four best players, you had 14 turnovers of those turnovers with them right there. You just can't have that. Anyway, J Dub, great night, 7 rebounds, 1 assist. SGA 24 points, 8 for 21. Like I said, he struggled tonight, and so goes SGA, so goes the Thunder, and that's how really good players. When you have your best player, if they don't play well, you got to have your other guys step up. The Thunder did not do that. Josh Giddy, SGA, 24 points, 10 rebounds, not bad, but that 6 turnovers is just glaring. Josh Giddy, 17 points, 8 for 16, 50% from the field, 0 for 2 from 3, and I do like his shot. It is improving. 7 rebounds, only 4 assists for Josh. He's got to get those up. And then, of course, like I said, Lou Dort killed us tonight. 6 points, 1 for 7, 0 for 4 from 3. And he just continues to try to be a scorer, and you just don't have any coaches that can put him in check and understand what his role truly is. When he's scoring and going for the and knocking down shots, hey, I'm all about him doing it. But when he's going off like he's not on, they don't have anybody to go, hey, stop. Play defense. If you get a layup and you're in transition, great. But when you're trying to attack the basket and going full speed, it is just not the way that it should go when you're doing that. And it's just, I just wish we'd have a coach that would just get him straight and get him where he needs to be. Okay? I really wish we could do that. Robinson Earl, great, like I said, seeing him. 0 points, 0 for 5, 0 for 4. Just rusty. He just was rusty. I mean, it just is. I mean, just rusty. But Robinson Earl can't stand out there and shoot the 3. He's got to develop the mid-range. When you're not knocking down the shots, we need something else for you. 3 rebounds is from our center is just not adequate enough. Lindy Waters, 3 points, 1 for 2, 1 for 2 in 6 minutes. 1 turnover. Kendrick Williams, 9 points, 4 for 7, 1 for 1 with 8 rebounds. And once again, Kendrick trying to do more than what he can. It cost us in certain times. And like I said, the thing with our frustration with the Thunder, and when we were in the bar doing my notes, listening to Michael Cage, he gives you no real sense of what's happening, of what's really going on. He just shades over, and it's just frustrating as hell to me. Educate our fans the more, because I believe the more educated you guys are, the more supportive you will be of the team. That's just how I look at it. Isaiah Joe, 16 points, 6 for 13, 4 for 11 from 3. We got to improve on that. But, when he starts taking shots out a little bit too much and people are running at him, he's not as deadly as when he catches it and he's wide open. But you can see right there, he shot 11 threes. So just him alone took almost half of our threes. Can't have that. 3 rebounds, no assists, and he's one of our point guards. You've got to be able to get some assists and get everybody involved. Wiggins, 3 points, 1 for 1 from the field. 1 for 1 for 3 on the shot he took. On the other side, you had Brandon Ingram with 34 points, 14 for 24. He just was absolutely an assassin tonight. Just beat us up. And then Valanciunas, he's just too big for us. Too big, too strong. Thunder couldn't do anything with him with 14 points and 8 rebounds. And then, of course, Alvarado, 14 points and 2 assists. And then Murphy, the starting 5. So they had 4 of their 5 guys that were in double figures. Where the Thunder, we had 3 of our 5 in double figures. And then you can't have Jay Will. You've got to be able to score, bro. You can't just go in there and give us a donut. We cannot afford to have that happen. And when you look at the first half and the second half, you can see right there, they were 8 for 19 for 3, ended up being 9 for 30. So we held them 1 for 11 the second half. Us, on the other hand, we were 2 for 15 from 3. 2 for 15. And still almost get back in the game. It's not that you're shooting threes, it's when you're shooting them and where you're shooting them from. But way too many shots. We weren't doing that. We weren't attacking the basket. We were in spurts, but we weren't being aggressive, attacking the basket, shooting layups, and going to the basket, getting tons of pips, points in the paint. We had 70 the other night. We had 50 tonight. So we only had 30 more from first half to second half points in the paint. We cannot do that. Scoring-wise from the bench, we had 12 points scored in the second half from the bench. They had 14. With turnovers, you can see right there, we had 16. They had 8. I think we had more than that. We had to have more than 16 turnovers. Had to have. Let me see if this still gets me that, because that just does That seems awful low to me. 16 turnovers. 16 turnovers. It just seems like we had more than that to me. But anyway, you can see right here the different stats of what we should have done, and what we did not do, and we could have done that, and it just did not, did not happen. Frustrating for me, but once again, we have to have our coach quit giving away points. He's costing us points by who he has in the game, his starting lineups, and who he has playing. He's costing us points. But when he doesn't do that, like he did not do that in Portland, we win the game. 9 minutes to go, he puts SGA back in the game in the fourth quarter. He never does that because he's the minutes manager. But he felt a run. What did he do? He put him in the game. Unlike the Golden State run when SGA got up because he felt the run coming, coach sits him back down, they go on a 36-14 run. Why? Because you couldn't feel the run coming. SGA is like, hey, here they come. Let's go. Let's get back in the game while we're still there. But no, he's setting back down because it wasn't his idea to put him in. Same thing, Billy Donovan cost us Kevin Durant. Same exact thing. Cost us Kevin Durant. Because all of a sudden he's coaching instead of going, oh, here's the floor of the game. Here's the feel. This is what's happening. Billy Donovan didn't do that. Cost us Kevin Durant. Now he's sitting there. You don't sit SGA. He's your best player. He's up ready to go. You're the coach. Okay, whatever. This is the NBA. It's not college. I'm sorry, guys. I'm going on my rant. I need to calm down. That's frustrating for me. I'm sorry. We have so much ability. We're so young, and it's so frustrating because now, like I said, he was good for what we were trying to do. Now you're trying to win. You need a coach that's going to get you to the next level. He ain't it. Unless you're just willing to let him continue to grow and learn from his mistakes. But it's right here. Why are you playing G League players over your normal players? G League players are coming in. They're strictly 2-3 minutes to come in here and sub the guys in. You don't start them over your rotational players. What you do, Coach D, you start them over our players. No other coach does that. You do it. But then once again, the Portland game, the Blazers, then you stick SGA in the 9 minutes when the game is on the line and starting to run, and then what do? We close them out. Now, if that's working, why would you go back to your old way? I don't understand it. Are we trying to win or are we not? Do you want to win or don't you? And most people don't realize that, but I'm telling you, more and more people are listening to my show. More and more people are starting to go and look and see exactly what I'm saying. They're watching and see the rotations. And when you put certain players in the game and how the lead blows up, and then you put the other group back in, and this group's got to fight back to get us back into the ball game because of substitutions of people you're playing. It's hard to watch. It's hard to watch. That being said, I want to thank you guys for watching this edition of After the Storm. Of course, I'm your host, Matt Clark. And remember, go to YouTube, search After the Storm OKC Thunder. Okay? And the shows will pop up. Subscribe, like, and hit the notification button. Or you can go to Facebook, my Facebook, search Matt Clark, and you can pull up that way. Or you can go to the website at mcsportsnetwork.com. You can go that way if you need to do it. That way you can also go do it that way, which is here. You can do After the Storm on YouTube. The Unpopular Hour, Coach, is the show that we do every day, 2 o'clock. And you can go, and I prefer you go to YouTube, search for The Unpopular Hour, Matt Clark, pull that up, subscribe, like, hit notification. After the Storm, the OKC Thunder post-game analysis, hit the like, hit notification, and hit subscribe. And every time we come on, you will pop up. And like I said, the other alternative is you can go to mcsportsnetwork.com, pull that up, and you can watch any of the past shows and do it that way if that's what you choose to do. So that being said, I want to thank everybody for watching this edition of After the Storm, and hopefully I'll see you tomorrow on the Unpopular Hour. Everybody be safe.